Angelina Jolie's lawyers claim Brad Pitt's physical abuse of Jolie started before their 2016 plane incident. A friend of Pitt familiar with the litigation over the years alleges Jolie's team is releasing misleading, inaccurate information as a distraction. Angelina Jolie alleges, via lawyers in a new court filing, that ex-Brad Pitt was abusive toward her prior to the 2016 plane incident that led her to filing for divorce. As part of the former couple's ongoing legal battle over their French winery Chateau Miraval, on April 4, the actress's legal team filed a motion seeking to release communications they say would prove Pitt, 60, would not let Jolie, 48, sell her share of the winery to him unless she agreed to a more onerous and expansive NDA. Within the new filing, Jolie's lawyers make the claim, while Pitt's history of physical abuse of Jolie started well before the family's September 2016 plane trip from France to Los Angeles, this flight marked the first time he turned his physical abuse on the children as well. Jolie then immediately left him. This is a pattern of behavior. Whenever there is a decision that goes against the other side, they consistently choose to introduce misleading, inaccurate and/or irrelevant information as a distraction, a friend of Pitt familiar with the litigation over the years tells People. There was a lengthy custody trial that involved the entire history of their relationship, and a judge who heard all the evidence still granted him 50-50 custody. Later, the judge who granted 50-50 custody was removed from the case, and the exes currently have joint custody. This is a pattern of behavior. Whenever there is a decision that goes against the other side, they consistently choose to introduce misleading, inaccurate and/or irrelevant information as a distraction, a friend of Pitt familiar with the litigation over the years tells People. There was a lengthy custody trial that involved the entire history of their relationship, and a judge who heard all the evidence still granted him 50-50 custody. Later, the judge who granted 50-50 custody was removed from the case, and the exes currently have joint custody. Jolie's attorney Paul Murphy said in a statement obtained by People April 4, Mr. Pitt refused to purchase Ms. Jolie's interest when she would not be silenced by his NDA. By refusing to buy her interest but then suing her, Mr. Pitt put directly at issue why that NDA was so important to him and what he hoped it would bury, his abuse of Ms. Jolie and their family. After 8 months of delays, this motion asks the court to force Mr. Pitt to finally produce that evidence. Separately, another source maintains to People that Jolie does not want to be raising any of these facts, and she is doing it only because Pitt's lawsuit against her is forcing her to defend herself. The source adds that, if this does go to trial, Jolie will be forced to use that evidence in the trial whether she wants to or not. In 2022, Pitt sued Jolie and her former company Nouvel for selling her half of the winery and going against an agreement he said they'd made about not selling without getting approval from the other. Pitt has accused Jolie of intentionally keeping him in the dark about her sale to Tenuta del Mondo, whose parent company is spirits manufacturer Stoli Group, owned by Russian oligarch Yuri Shefler. He said that sale jeopardizes the reputation of the business that Pitt so carefully built. Back when Jolie's legal team brought up the 2016 plane allegations in a response filed in October 2022 for the winery case, a source close to Pitt said, "It's incredibly sad that she continues to rehash, revise and reimagine her description of an event that happened 6 years ago, adding in completely untrue information to try to get additional attention for herself at the expense of their family." Pitt was never charged following an investigation into allegations of abuse on the September 14, 2016, flight. In the latest filing, Jolie's lawyers write that the actress never pressed charges as she believed the best course was for Pitt to accept responsibility and help the family recover from the post-traumatic stress he caused. Pitt and Jolie, who were declared legally single by a judge back in 2019, share 6 kids: Maddox, 22, Pax, 20, Sahara, 19, Shiloh, 17, and 15-year-old twins Vivian and Knox.